Hey yo, welcome to the wonderful world of Hungry Heath. Now I am not a classically trained chef. What I am is a self-taught home cook. I have studied under several television chefs. I have a PhD from YouTube University and a black belt from Google Food. I love to cook. Recently, we've accepted the challenge from the two Krazy Ketos to participate in their no joke April challenge, where every day for the entire month of April we are tasked with creating an entree using a different protein. Today's recipe, we're on day 4, is using a ham steak. So let's show you what we're doing. With our ham steak, we're going to be making a super stack biscuit sandwich. And as a side dish, I'm gonna make a revised version of my atomic buffalo turds. Let's get to cooking.
To get to cooking on our super stacked ham biscuit sandwich, we need a ham steak, of course, and we got a bone-in one. They were cheaper than without the bone. That's okay, cut around it. We're also going to use some sliced cheese. We've got some buffalo flavored and some Colby Jack. And then for our ABTs, we need bacon. We got a good deal on a package of bacon yesterday. We're going to try cheese curds this time. Of course, some cream cheese, jalapenos, and we've got a few slices of pepperoni left, so we're like, let's go ahead and just use those. And then for the biscuits, we're going to do, since we have a lot of it, the creamy tomato basil, some Italian pork rinds, butter, baking powder, and 4 eggs. It's the same recipe that you can find on Keto Chow's website. And just the difference is we're doing the creamy tomato basil this time. So I think all of those flavors will really play well together. So I'm going to start with making our Keto Chow drop biscuits. What you need is 4 egg whites. She says just the egg whites, but I'm going to go ahead and also end up adding in my yolks. I'm good with that. So just going to keep putting these in here and separating my egg whites and egg yolks. There we go. Need my sous chef to bring me a trash can to put these egg yolks in, or I mean these egg shells. So I got my 4 egg whites and I'm just whisking them until they get light and airy. And then I will add in my Keto Chow. Usually this just takes a couple of minutes. Okay, and I'm adding my Keto Chow, that creamy tomato basil. Now a lot of people use recipes at the end of last month. It created so many yummy, delicious recipes. It really gives us tons of ideas on how to use it because we do have such a large bag of it. And come on, I mean, tomato is great, right? What did you do with your tomato basil? What did you come up with? Or if you didn't, what recipe did you see that sounded really good? Of course, I'm going to be biased, and I'm going to say my husband's pizza using it was amazing. And then also, of course, my spice cakes, the little sweet dessert I made. So next step, we're going to use pork rinds, a 1/2 cup of our pork rinds. And I'm doing the Italian seasoning one. Just slowly kind of fold that in there with those egg whites. Since we're still in the hotel, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And then instead of the oven, we're going to try making these in the air fryer. And I know the recipe says it makes 8 biscuits, but we're going to just make 2 large biscuits. So I'm just stirring everything together. And this isn't as thick as it normally is. And then I know we got to add in 4 tablespoons of butter. But I feel like this needs a little more pork rinds. But I'm going to go ahead and add my egg yolks in. And that's most of the egg yolks. I don't want to miss out on all that yummy fattiness. Alright, I feel like this is wetter than it normally is. So I'm going to add a little more pork rinds to this. Let's see here. Let's start with about 1/4 of a cup. See how this goes. Could be that the pork rind I'm using is extra fine. So I wonder if that's doing part of it. Just keep combining till you get more of a dough-like batter than a doughy consistency than this.
It looks like porridge.
Right? Well, it's more of a batter. Like if you were going to make a pancake batter.
Yeah.
I just feel like I want it a little thicker. Trial and error, right? Yeah, see, that's thickening up better. Alright, and I might have said 4 tablespoons, y'all. It's 2 tablespoons of butter. Just follow the Keto Chow recipe for the drop biscuits. The only thing I'm doing really different is I am substituting the pork panko for the almond flour. And again, that's because we don't eat almond flour. So I've got my cold butter in here. Just going to stir that all together. And the reason you want that butter is because then as these are cooking, then as the butter melts, it'll help create those pockets in the dough. Just folding that. Wow, you can really smell the tomato. That's awesome. Okay. And then I'm going to move over and put these in our air fryer basket. So I'm going to make these 2 big biscuits. Now you might say, oh my God, your air fryer basket's so dirty. Well, yes, we made some pork chops in it Friday night. And I hope you watched our live. And he was like, you know what? Don't change it out. I think all those wonderful pork fat that's in here will be perfect for the biscuits. So go ahead and cook it in there. So that's what I'm doing per his request. So I'm going to put this in here. Just kind of form them. Now I know with the egg yolks added, this might spread out a little bit. And I'm okay with that. So I'm just trying to form these into 2, what you might call cat head biscuits. And if you've heard of cat head biscuits, tell me where you got your favorite. Basically, they were called that, if you've never heard of that, because the biscuits were as big as a cat's head. We were at somewhere, I forget, on our trip. You know, I think that was actually... Was it out in Nevada or Arizona? Remember that Ruby's Diner?
I think that was in Arizona. I don't remember for sure. You take me so many places, it's all just a big blur.
But we went to this place called Ruby's Diner. The food was like really good, and it was just an old diner. Ruby had started like I think back in the 50s or something, and that's what they called their biscuits, was cat head biscuits. And remember the waiter was amazing there.
Yeah.
It was really good food. And
is that what they made their own hot sauce when we bought a bottle?
yeah, but unfortunately, like when we
had sugar in it,
had honey.
Oh, that's
it was
right.
a honey hot sauce.
They tasted awesome, but that was all pre-keto.
Yeah, and so when because we kind of like open a bottle of hot sauce and use it for like once or twice, and then we put it like in the fridge or on the shelf, and then we go back and it could take a year or two to go through some of our hot sauces or longer, and so then when we went back to it, we were like, oh, there's honey, we can't use it anymore.
Well, my brother loved it.
Yeah, we found it a good home.
Yeah.
Of course.
We have a bunch of orphaned hot sauces.
I know, right?
And I'm thinking this is just going to be a giant experiment, too. If the biscuits don't turn out right, will just be a knife and fork deconstructed sandwich.
Do these look about even to you?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Now, I know that they're going to spread out a little bit in the air fryer, but I went ahead and started preheating my air fryer at 350. She says to bake them for like 17 to 20 minutes. I think since these are one big biscuit, it's going to be like probably 20 to 25.
And actually calling it an air fryer for this application is kind of a misnomer. Technically, that's what it is, but it's actually a convection oven combo. So we're using it set on the convection oven for this application.
Yeah, and the bake setting.
Yes.
Right. Okay, I think that'll do it between these two. Let's get them in the air fryer then.
So now I'm going to slide these cat head biscuits into my convection oven. We have it preset for 350. And I'm going to dial it in for 20 minutes. Wish us luck.
All right, I got most of these wrapped up. I'm just finishing up the last two here. And since I had it, this bacon needs to be used, right? So I'm doing 2 slices on each of these. Now you can make it stretch to 1 slice if you need to, but we gotta use up this bacon, plus we got it on sale, so we don't want to waste any of it or keep it around for much longer, because I have found that on the discount meat, that means you need to use it within a day or two, which I'm fine with that, because that's typically how we like plan our meals, is like, oh, okay, we got that on sale, so that's what we're having.
And another little pro tip I use, when I'm picking out my bacon, I always try and find the cheapest, thinnest bacon they sell, because it works best for being able to wrap these peppers with it.
Yeah.
Your thick stuff, you're going to end up fighting with it or breaking it.
Yeah, because we found that out using our homemade bacon, that we slice it, our homemade, too thick, and it's just too thick and bulky. And then plus it kind of throws off the cook time because they are so thick. Whereas this is like, this one's like perfect. And they called this center cut bacon.
Huh.
But it's definitely good. I mean, I would consider this a pretty thin cut on it too. Yeah. And Heath always likes to put tons of toothpicks. I try to wrap mine to where I don't have to have a toothpick in it.
Show off.
And then what we're also going to do, let me kind of rearrange these just a little. Normally we do Heath's pork and poultry rub, but he's all out and he hasn't made me anymore. What is your life? So we're going to do the Redmond's seasoned salt. Oh, let's see. Oh, thank you, nurse. And I'm just going to dust these with the seasoned salt. That's got some good flavors in there. And then I'm going to turn these. Now usually when I bake them, I like to start them with the cheese side down for baking. Or, yeah, that's what we're doing today in the air fryer. And that's because then I flip them halfway through. And that way when they finish, they're like properly up. So that if the cheese starts to melt, which usually happens on the second half of cooking, then it's just kind of going to ooze over into it and not just drip completely down. Okay, it went off. It's been 20 minutes, so let's take a look. Oh, wow. They didn't spread out too bad. Let's make sure they're cooked. Yeah, it's coming out clean. So I'm going to take these off and put these, sticking just a little bit there. And I'm just putting them in this other dish. Ooh, that one stuck a little.
But look, it caught all that flavor like I wanted.
Yeah, definitely did that.
Awesome.
I don't know how well it's gonna cut in half though.
Like I said, worst case will be this. Well, hold on, is that on camera?
I don't know. Yeah. So I'm just putting these jalapenos. You're gonna have to put them down for it. You're covering my whole area.
I'm sorry.
Let's do that. There you go. So I'm just gonna go right in, put my peppers in, and we're gonna put this back on the air fryer setting. And we want to do 400 for roughly 10 minutes. So I think, yeah, we'll put these in and check on them. You think it's 10 minutes total or?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll check on them in 5 minutes. So let me change that to 400. Put it back on air fry. Close that up. And there's not really a 5 or a 10 setting, so what I do is just set my timer for 5 minutes. Hey, it's been 5 minutes. Woo. We're gonna have to turn this vent on, but let me just show y'all so far.
Oh yeah, those look amazing.
Yeah, that's coming out good. So now, let's start flipping these over. And then we'll do it another.
Yep.
There it goes. We're slipping back in 5 more minutes. So for the ham, I went ahead after talking to Heath because we had a huge ham steak. We're going to go ahead and slice it up now to fry it. And I've just got my cast iron on medium here, which, you know, you've been watching us, that means it's high. Because the ham's already cooked. All I'm trying to do is just kind of get some sear marks on it. Oh yeah, it's gonna be good.
And the reason why we cut it up is because I want to melt cheese on it and stack it up.
Alright, so it'll probably just take, about a minute on each side?
Probably.
That's our ABTs. We're just going to let them sit there for a minute while I get this ham seared up. So, our ham's been cooking. I used to do ham because I like it a little crispy, about 3 minutes per side. So, when I flipped it over, I did add the cheese. So I'm going to pull it off now. Ooh, look at that, babe. This is yours.
Oh, yeah.
And he did the buffalo cheese, and then the Colby Jack, and more buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, this is going to be good, all sandwiched up. Here's our bread or cat head biscuits. I mean, that is pretty big cat head, right?
My view up here, it looks almost like a hamburger patty.
So I'm just going to slice it through. I don't have a serrated knife here, so I just grabbed a long knife. So it's not going to be the cleanest of cuts. Ooh, let's see. It's the moment of truth, babe. Well, I say that. There we go. Last bit.
Oh, wow.
Can you get in on that?
Yeah.
Oh, I punched through a little bit at the bottom there.
That's fine.
But look,
Gives me a hole to handle it.
look at all that. That looks good, huh?
Yeah.
So now I'm going to take all of your wonderful ham here and put that right there in the middle.
Pour that on there, too.
Yeah.
Give me all that sauce. Yes.
Wow, that looks good, right?
Yeah.
We'll get mine done, and then we'll plate it up with our ABTs, and then we'll be ready to eat.
I am just so excited about this. This is an awesome sandwich. Look at that.
It is pretty.
This is a
Pretty big.
two-hander.
I know. And then I got my hot sauces here. I've got the one that Stephanie gave us from Sassy Chef Steph. And then yesterday we picked up 2 new ones, Gringo Bandito. And who'd you say makes this?
Dexter Holland from The Offspring.
Yeah. And then I found another one called Lola's, and hers is the Trinidad Scorpion. And I got it because our favorite person, Renee, she grows Trinidad, so I was like, ooh, that sounds kind of fun to try. So I've got those because, you know, we're going to want something kind of spicy.
And I've always loved mustard on my ham sandwiches, so I'm putting a little French's on it. Well, I say French's, it's actually from H-E-B.
Yeah.
But it's just regular yellow mustard. You want to use it, baby?
No, I'm going to probably save for a hot sauce, but I want to try it as is right now. Are you going to...
I already tried it. I had a little piece that fell off. It's way good.
You going to try it like an actual sandwich?
Yes.
Look at this super stacked sandwich.
Now, I used to judge my hamburger joints by how many napkins I needed to clean up afterwards.
Right?
Where the shrapnel landed.
But the bread,
Oh, it's holding
the
up
drop
perfect.
is good. Yeah, it's really holding up.
I'm gonna have to take a honking bite. Mmm.
Mmm.
Yes.
Mm.
Excellent. Fat boy approved.
Mm-hmm. Wow. You definitely get the tomato basil,
Yeah.
and I do get a little taste of the
The grease from the
from
bacon.
the pork. Yeah, that's really good.
I was telling her, you know, usually like on a sandwich like this, you would put tomatoes. Well, that tomato basil adds that flavor to it.
Right.
I'm so smart.
We were really thinking of what's a way we can use this ham steak than just immediately we're like, oh, just ham and eggs, right? And so we were racking our brains, what's a new way we could do it? And he came up with this sandwich, and I think it's awesome this way.
Yeah.
This is a perfect sandwich to have, and then serving it with the ABT. So I'm going to take a bite of, look, I got that little skinny little tiny little one. Yeah, that's good.
Ooh, that's hot. I like that.
And my thing is, with the ABT, that is a great, you know, because this is all finger foods.
Uh-huh.
So it's a great side to have with something that you're also going to be eating with your hands.
We know it. I
Perfect.
messed up and put my hand in a koozie. That means I'm going to get the grease hands all over my koozie.
This is perfect.
Oh,
Wow.
awesome.
I like it with the seasoned salt on them.
Yeah.
It's not as good as your pork or poultry rub because that adds, you know, many layers
Right.
of different flavors and just a hint of sweetness.
Piece of bacon.
But the seasoned salt works.
Honestly, that's that Redmond seasoned salt. I haven't found anything yet that is not good on. Like, I really love it on steaks too. But this sandwich is just terrific. I'm already getting all dirty hands on it. I love this.
Perfect. It's like a brunch meal or dinner meal. I mean, you could take it up a notch and put like a fried egg on it.
I don't need it though. This is amazing.
No, it doesn't. It's good. Thank you all so much for watching.
Yeah.
What did you do for if you're participating in the chop challenge for the ham steak, what did you do today?
And do me a favor, folks, please. Make sure to click that subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Tell me if this sandwich sounds good to y'all. And make sure also, every Friday night, make sure y'all are tuned in. 6:30 Central. Shelly and I will cook up something fantastic, sit around and visit with all of our friends, the Hungry Horde. We call it our chat and chew. Thank y'all for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one. I gotta eat this sandwich.